Well, it seems I had a technical difficulty. Well, hello, everybody. How are you? We started a little early, but I wasn't expecting that. This is Ms.B, Positively Ms.B. Welcome, Angela. How are you?
Oh, welcome. That was a beautiful intro. I like that music.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad it was pleasing because I sure took a missing. Oh, jeez. All right, everybody. In case this is your first time joining me, we are here with a monthly episode of the Limited Resource Awareness with my special guest, Angela B. Brown, who is the CEO of Yeshuashouse in Petersburg. Angela, we only come on once a month. If you would be so kind as to tell our viewers a little bit about you and Yeshuashouse, please.
Sure. Okay. Well, Yeshua's house is a transitional home for women and children who have been abused or women and children who are in financial transition. We accept single women too, but families and single women in that situation. So to date, we have had 57 women and 36 children go through Yeshua's house. Our most successful residents have stayed the entire 18 months that they are allotted. We determined early on that women needed more than a month or 2 months to get things together, both in their head and in their heart and in their finances. Particularly if they have children, they need those 18 months, I think. And so we've had some wonderful successes. We've had a woman who's gotten married. She found the love of her life and was married and left at that 18-month mark. The day she got married, she packed up and moved. So we've had a woman who's just received an offer for a $50,000 salary to be a supervisor. Yes. So and she had just left in February.
Oh, look at God.
God rewires people when they sit in his presence and say, everything that comes to me is because of you. And that relationship can open doors because then they're working with him and not against him. And we know from all this experience we've had since 2012 when we opened that God loves these women. He gives them the best, and he gives them the best because most of them come in not thinking that they deserve the best or even what is good. And that's why we're talking today about Abused Women Speak. These are the things that I've learned from sitting in our support group sessions, how abused women think. And I'm not going to say all women think alike. Hopefully I'll remember to say often. Often this is what is going through an abused woman's head. But so the topic today is Abused Women Speak. Leaving the abuser can help us see the broken pieces that we need to repair. Because as long as we're with the abuser, they take up our whole screen, Ms.B. That's what a bully does. He makes you think that he is so powerful and big and in control that you don't have any options. And it's a big lie. You always have options. But after you leave, then you have decisions to make and mindsets that you have to get out of. And that's what we're talking about today. That then you can see to pick up the broken pieces. You don't even know they're broken as long as you're trying to survive under his roof.
I like what you said when you said you don't even know you're broken.
No.
A lot of people come to you. I'm not going to say that. I'm sure there are some people who come to you in moments of distress, and not necessarily because they have made strategic plans to remove themselves because they recognize this is not a healthy environment. So as we move into the topic, women speak, let's also include the children that are impacted, if you don't mind, because the longer a woman either ignores or settles for a less than healthy relationship, the children are impacted as well. So thank you for that topic.
Right. And, just as the woman can't see the broken pieces in her person and in her life, she's blind to the brokenness in her children. You know, most want to be good mothers, but they can't focus on the children because they're constantly trying to placate the abuser for survival, whether it's financial survival or emotional or mental survival or physical survival. You know, Joe Biden, President Joe Biden spoke to Congress on April 29th, and he noted the statistic, which is 50 women per month in the United States are shot and killed by an abusive partner. So I multiplied 50 times 12, and I got 600 women per year. And those are just reported. And those are just shot and killed. Not any other means, not strangling, you know, not poison, not slow death. So this is, I'm so glad that he put it out there. And, you know, I like to think that our 57 women and our 36 children are reach a plateau whenever they leave from that facility, our facility. They reach a plateau where their physical lives will never be in jeopardy again, and that they are set, as we always talk about here, to reach their potential. That's the other killer. Even if you're not in fear of your life, you can't reach your potential when you're under the thumb of an abuser. And if you don't want to call him an abuser, just call him a bully.
My mother, you know what? It is what it is.
Yeah. My mother never had the word abuser in her vocabulary, but she would always speak of her father as he was mean. Mm-hmm. You know, he was mean. So whatever words you have for it, get out from under the thumb, because you have options.
You know, before you move on, there's an episode, and I'm going to try to post it. I think we did a couple on Maslow's. I'm probably saying it wrong.
Hierarchy.
Yeah, reaching your full potential. You talked about that in a couple of previous episodes. And I just want people to know that for me, becoming a part of the residential services that Yeshuashouse offers, it's not just 3 hots and a cot. She offers words of encouragement. She helps you to become more aware of your potential. And even though she's faith-based, she represents us as women. And regardless of what you believe or don't believe in, she wants you to start believing in yourself. So again, women speak. I'm loving this because we're right after the society celebration of Mother's Day. Not everybody does it, but there was an acknowledgement of all mothers done globally. And so in this episode, I personally feel that this is dedicated to all mothers, because there are some people who've been in relationships for 40 and 50 years and they are still being bullied. So I'm very emotional with this topic. So continue, Angela.
Okay. Well, first, I guess I want to thank our supporters, because we've got 2 new two new fundraisers this year, this month. One of them is a wonderful organization, which is a thrift store. Have you heard of the Thrifty Quaker in Midlothian? Okay. Well, they are a beautiful little place. We put them online if you want to see them, and then you can go to thriftyquaker.com. But they're on Midlothian, where Midlothian intersects Coalfield Road, 13567. And every month they give back to a nonprofit or 2 nonprofits. And this month, the month of May, they're giving to us and another nonprofit. So they split their profits between the 2 of us. So I'm asking you to check them out online, go and see the wonderful finds that they have there, and donate your gently used items. They're a really fine thrift store doing a good work. And then the second one is we've been called, Yeshua's house has been called the best kept secret in Petersburg. So we're trying as a board, because we are board run, to market ourselves a little better. And so the board has come up with a face mask, and it has our logo on it, and it has end domestic violence, break the cycle on it. And we would love for you to help with our marketing by purchasing that and wearing it. And then when people ask, let them know that, yeah, that's a Petersburg resource. And you never know. You never know who needs something just like that.
Do you have one available to show?
I don't have one with me. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
It's just
it's on your page. I saw it.
It's on our page. That's right. That's right. Okay. So to talk about why leaving the abuser can help us see the broken pieces. And we already talked about how they fill our picture, and that's by design. If a bully doesn't fill your picture and make you think that, keep your eyes on me, I'm the one, I'm the one, I'm the one, I'm the only one who can help you, I'm the only, I can hurt you, whatever his message is. So once he gets out of the picture, then you can begin to work on your children and yourself. So what I did was I was looking at the things that the women in our support group have said. And one of them was, let me see here, kind of working from my screen. One of them was that I find it hard to walk away from abusive relationships. I understand abusers. Really, I even abuse myself. Now, this is a woman in our support group speaking, right? I've abused myself, and then the chorus comes on. Somebody's abused themselves with vaping, and somebody's with drugs, and somebody's overeating, and somebody's oversleeping, and somebody says, "Well, I verbally and mentally abuse myself." And one says, "I'm my own worst critic." Well, discussion, parent yourself. And this is true for all of us, because we all have recordings that we need to stop, right? Negative recordings, but we need to parent ourselves. And I heard a counselor say once that you need to think of yourself as when you were a little child, because there's a little child in you, and that little child is doing what he wants to do, whether it's oversleep or overeat or take the drugs, which the adult in you knows is a no-brainer, right? So you have to think of yourself as divided between the parent figure and yourself as a little child. So let's say little Benita, okay? So little Benita wants to make this unwise decision, and Benita, the parent, says, no, you don't want to do that because da 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 da. We don't want our children to say self-defeating or self-destructive things. And so we interrupt them, right? Because they're speaking to themselves, and they're going to make that a self-fulfilling prophecy. So, for example, you would say, oh, no, you are not worthless. You are so valuable. You are precious. You are one of a kind. You put up fences that the child in you cannot cross, because left to himself, he will have his way. He will throw a tantrum, or she, right? And to get her way. Oh, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. I'm not capable. They'll make fun of me. Whatever that child is thinking. But no, you undergird them with your strength and your experience. They cannot cross that line without you, the caring adult, the parent, setting them straight. No, you're not going to do that. I'm not going to let you do that. So you have to have the parent-child dialogue. Okay. One example is, you have many gifts. Now, the gifts, just work your gifts. Don't compare yourself with others. They have different gifts than you do. But you know how we self-destruct by looking at other people's gifts and saying, I can't do that. Okay. So does that kind of ring a bell, that, this self-talk the psychologists call it. We have to call the parent in. And you are the parent. You know better, right? Okay. Okay. So another thing that women talk about is depression, right? Well, just paraphrasing what a woman would say, when I get depressed, if I don't catch myself in time, I will and actually will myself to do the things that get me back into reality, I will spiral into a deep depression. It's like I can't stop myself. And then I feel like I deserve all this abuse that I have heaped on myself, because these consequences are abuse. And you know, I've heaped them on myself, and I can hear my abusers telling me that I deserve this abuse. I deserve the abuse they heaped on me. That's what they told me. You deserve this abuse that I heaped on you. You brought it on. And so you deserve all the consequences of the abuse, right? Well, one woman might say, I've lost my job behind a depression. And another can say, I lost my car. Another can say, I was evicted from my apartment. Because you get into a depression and you stop functioning, right? And here's the worst. I lost my children behind my depression. Unfit parent. You can't take better care of your children than you take care of yourself. So, but you know, when it comes right down to it, what the woman is saying is, I don't care enough about myself to improve. And so that is the toxic inner working of a woman. Even after she leaves her abuser, she has to begin to care for herself and turn off the negative recordings. That's why it takes time. And we've talked about that. It takes time. It takes patience. You know, you, the parent, have to be patient with the child in you. And your friends have to be patient with the child in you. So that's one of the things our support group does, because then they also have advice as their parent comes out, and they talk to the other person who's having a problem. So it's just I'm going to get into those in a minute. But another kind of ongoing issue is a woman might say, I always find myself sabotaging my relationships. Might be a landlord, might be an employer, might be a relative, might be the closest people to you. You begin to see them as being abusive or controlling. And they might just be wanting to help. As one woman put it, I've had accountability partners, but I just see them as hounding me. See how self-destructive that is. And so, you know, somebody chimes up, well, you don't see them as hounding you, see them as helping you. You got to change your mindset. They're trying to help you. One woman's advice was rewire your brain. That's how you're used to seeing somebody suggesting or directing or advising you. Stop and stop thinking that you don't deserve good things, because that's what's behind the sabotage. This can't last. I can't wait for it to, I don't want it to build. I don't want my expectations to build and then be dashed. So I'll just stop it right here. That's the subconscious sabotaging the good relationship. Okay. So some other of their advice to themselves and each other was, it takes 21 days to create a habit. So count them off. And you know, every day you don't sabotage a relationship. Every day you every day that you what's that called? That you check your lips so that you don't say something that is going to alienate people. And when you do, realize that apologies aren't enough. You need to show that person that you value the relationship you have with them. And don't stop thinking about how you can correct that good relationship that you sabotage until you've done it. Okay. So you see the parent in the ladies, that they know what to do. It's just a matter of, you know, am I going to follow through with my parent side, or am I going to let this kid in me ruin the next phase of my life? Okay, so I just talked about 3, and I think it's already 1:18. But I guess one of the things that it's maybe hard for people to understand who have never had a bully in their lives for a period of time. Most of us had a bully for, you know, one school grade or or whatever, but it often takes a while for even a survivor of abuse, even if it was just verbal abuse. I hate that word "just" because verbal abuse is terrifying. It can derail your life, but it often takes a while for them to stop reacting to the idea that their abuser is still there, whether they are there physically, even if the person is in a, you know, has moved to a different state or is in a confidential location. They think of them as still there. And you know, many times when our women first come, all they talk about is the abuser, because they that's been their mindset. That's what they've had to do to survive. They talk about their abuser more than they do their needs or their goals or their children. It's uncanny. And no human being should have that kind of control over you. So it takes time to move away from, he's not important. He's out of the picture. That's why you changed your phone number. That's why you blocked him from all your social media. And don't let people talk to you about what he's doing, because he wants them to do that so that you can fear what he's going to do next. He said that about me, and then you want to react. No, you cut the apron string, whatever it was. It may not have been an apron. May have been a chain, right? It's a chain. You cut the chain, and now you make decisions based on your needs, your children's needs, and you're flying away free as a bird. You see the bird in my background. I love birds because they represent the freedom that we were born with. When God told us that we had dominion over the animals and the fish and whatever, then he was saying, you are free. You are free. And you have decisions you can make. So, see, I think you're past time for your...
Keep going.
No? Okay, we're going to go. Okay. So one of the things then that your contributions to Yeshua's house make such a difference in the mindset of the... Do you see that if you have never had good things or been told that you don't deserve them or haven't been gifted with nice things, then when these things start coming into you, your size comes in, your the color that you like, the comfortable furniture that you never had, whatever those things are, and they aren't torn and dirty and faded, you know. When these things come into your life and you can walk around in a home that says you're important, you're somebody, and that somebody that loves you, those donors don't know who you are, but God put it in their heart to donate these things for your comfort and your joy, because life should be joyful, right? And so each one of these represents the love that God has for them and his desire to get their mind straight, because he's an anti-bully. You know, if you've seen our website, we put the scriptures down there for what he says. And one of them, he says, I will arise. When bullies come into your life, I will arise, and they can puff all they want to, right? They can puff and talk about what power they have, and cut them right down, because I will arise when I hear the poor and the needy. Because he is on the side of the poor and the needy. And as long as we are treating people right, he's on our side. But you want to get on his wrong side, and you start treating people like dirt. And God is not a controller, which is why you don't see instant changes in people. They have to work out the changes as they can adapt to them, because you can go too fast and not be comfortable with your own state. So it takes patience on your part, on your children's part, patience with your children. As many children, because the abuser has been large in their life too. So how secure do they feel with mom, who was the target of the abuse? So there's a relationship that has to be established on a healthy footing that has been undermined by the abuser. And it takes time. It takes time. But the more they see their mother being a rock and pursuing the things that are good for her family, taking interest in the child's welfare and improvement, the more secure they are, and that relationship is they're bonding. They're bonding in a new way. So whether you've had a home to go to and just be able to chill and get the support that you need, you can make these changes in your own life, whether you've been free of an abuser for years or just left yesterday or haven't left yet and need to. Some women can leave because they do have the finances. Those aren't the women that come to Yeshua's house. You know, our women need that financial support in order to even leave. But if you can leave and you have the finances, don't think that any threat that he's ever made to you is can trump that. You can leave.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know. You have last remarks there or what?
Well, all right then, everybody. There you have it. A woman speaks. I was ready for more, but we've made an agreement that we're going to end it right around 30 minutes or so. So I just want to say thank you so much. And again, Yeshua's House is the proud sponsor of our episodes of the Limited Resource Awareness. We're going to be adding other programming throughout the month. Right now, she is my cornerstone once a month, but I'm going to be adding 3 extra shows. And again, she's an honorary Yeshua's House is an honorary sponsor of all episodes. That is my way to give them extra exposure to our platforms, to encourage other people not only just to recognize that they may be in a harmful situation, but to offer support for those who are seeking comfort at Yeshua's House. So again, Angela, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. We're going to be back together again next month, second Tuesday every month, 1 p.m. Eastern time, right?
Right. And I thank you for your support and making us an honorary supporter. We need that marketing. You know?
Not a problem.
In fact, right now we have an opening for a family and a single woman. So we would, you know, if you're in a situation where you need that, by all means, visit our website at yeshuashouse.net and give me a call. All our information is there. Support, what do you call it? We have a support group, a financial management class, and a counseling session every month. And our parents receive parenting counseling.
I don't know if I've asked this or if you've addressed it. Do they necessarily have to have a residential address in the Tri-City areas, or will you take people from anywhere as long as they can get there?
We take people from anywhere. We've had people from Texas and Florida. Yes.
I love
Anywhere.
that. All right, everybody. So location is not a problem. If you can pack up the U-Haul and you want to relocate and he'll never find you, seek out Yeshua's house and you can set up residency anywhere you want and he can't find you. The main thing is you got to make the effort to do something. So again, Angela, thank you so much for clarifying that. Again, look forward to her returning with me every second Tuesday at 1 p.m. East Coast time with a different topic on how to handle difficult relationships and remove yourself from bullying. Because if you don't, who else will? All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you, Ms.B. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.